Hello, one of the very frequent questions that comes up when people first discover Ho'oponopono is how do they start? And I recommend that you start with the Ho'opono prayer or the Ho'opono mantra as prescribed by Dr. Ihaliaka Hugh Len. It's very, very simple. You say to your subconscious inner child, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And that's it. That is the entire mantra. However, if you don't understand why you're saying it or what you're saying, then it's not really going to be so effective. So let me explain to you exactly what this is about. Your subconscious inner child is really literally like a toddler. It doesn't know right from wrong. It will only do what you tell it to do. It won't tell you what you tell it not to do. And in fact, it doesn't even recognize what you tell it what not to do. So for example, if I say to you, don't think about a yellow and green striped zebra, probably the first thing that came into your mind was, then you made it black and white or whatever. And this is exactly how your subconscious mind works. And any of you that are parents know that if you have a little child who's a toddler and you say to it, don't fall in that mud, the first thing they do is fall in the mud. Or if you say don't stamp in that puddle, the first thing they do is to stamp in the puddle. The very thing that you've told them not to do. And it's not their fault. It's quite simply that they haven't developed the capacity to be able to negate an action. So if you tell them to go around the puddle, they will go around it. If you tell them to avoid the mud, they will avoid it. And there's this very kind of subtle but definite difference in their behavior. Now, when you're talking to your subconscious inner child, this is the interface between your conscious mind, which is sometimes called the mother in Hawaiian culture, and your subconscious inner child, which is known as the child in Hawaiian culture. And it's really very, very simple. So let's say you've made a mistake with a real child, and adults do this from time to time. You would say to the child, I'm sorry I got this wrong. Please forgive me, because the child is upset. Thank you so much, when they do. I love you. It's a very natural thing to say. And it's the same with the subconscious inner child. You say exactly the same words. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. And what you're thanking the inner child is you thank the inner child for carrying memories of past events, both the past events of your own life and of previous lifetimes, or even the behaviors of your ancestors. Please forgive me means please forgive me for placing the burden upon you of having to carry these memories. Thank you for doing it. I love you. And that's all there is to it. So that's the very basic Ho'opono prayer. That's what you say. Dr. Hugh Len used to say that we have absolutely no idea about where all this started. We have no idea about all the things that we've done in the past and in past lives. So we can just clean on them generally by repeating this prayer. And he used to recommend that we did it all the time, but you'll find that you get pretty bored doing that. Some people like to do it in the morning, some people like to do it in the evening for 10 minutes. I think you should do it whenever you remember that you need to do it. And let's say you're thinking about debts, for example, then it's not the debts that you clean on, it's the the fear that of what the debts will do to you. So if I'm in debt to somebody and they might sue me, then I'm fearful that they're going to sue me. So that's what I clean on. I don't actually clean on the debt itself. And that's really how Ho'oponopono works. The second method I would suggest that you might try in order to start is something called the blue bottle, or a blue bottle water. And what you do is you find a cobalt and blue coloured bottle. You find one without any metal around the top, and that includes the sort of sprung lids that sometimes you can buy on Amazon. You get one that you can cork, or you can put a plastic cap in. The cork, I think, is better. I prefer the cork, but plastic caps are fine as well. You fill it with ordinary tap water, or you can filter the water if you like. You put it in the sun for an hour and it solarizes, and then you can just put a drop or two of this blue water in your drinking water, and it will clean automatically for you without you doing anything else. So here are two methods that are very easy to do when you're starting in Ho'oponopono. Some people like to overthink this. I like to overthink things. I've written a book about Ho'oponopono, which overthinks the whole business. But you don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. You don't need to read it. But some of you may like to in order to answer more academic questions. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you very soon.